biggest problem of the world today. People just don't believe that he's coming back one day. Oh no, do you believe he's the answer to the problem of the world today? Do you believe his blood can wash off all your sins away? Oh no.
We now have 9 zip codes in Brooklyn and Queens that have been above a 3% positivity level for 7 consecutive days or more. And that measure tells us that we have to take more extensive action. It will be very difficult. I want to emphasize this again, gives me no joy in saying this because it'll be very difficult for the people who live in these zip codes of all communities. It will be difficult for people who have done so much to fight back through this crisis. But it is necessary to stop the spread of the coronavirus in these communities and beyond. And it's necessary for the good of all of New York City, which still overall continues to have a very low positivity level. We have to keep it that way. So we have to take strategic action now to protect everyone, over 8 million New Yorkers who are depending on this virus to be held in check. Now, the proposal I'm going to go over, we've presented it initially to the state of New York. I want to emphasize that everything I'm about to say will require the support and approval of the state of New York. And we're going to be working intensely today and tomorrow on the details with the state. And assuming we get through all this quickly and it is approved, we'll put this into effect on the timeline I will describe. So the plan is to rewind in these 9 zip codes, to rewind, to go back, to address the problem by using the tools that we know work, which is to ensure that non-essential businesses are not open and a variety of activities are not happening. Again, no joy in saying that, but that unfortunately we do know is what is necessary to stop the spread of the coronavirus. So this would begin this Wednesday morning coming, Wednesday, October 7th, require the closure of non-essential businesses in these 9 zip codes. And I want to go through them now. It's Edgemere and Far Rockaway, 11691. Borough Park, 11219. Graves End Homecrest, 11223. Midwood, 11230. Bensonhurst and Mapleton, 11204. Flatlands in Midwood, 11210. Garrettson Beach, Homecrest, Sheepshead Bay, 11229. Kew Gardens, 11415. And Kew Gardens Hills, Pominock, 11367. Those are the 9 zip codes that have had over 3% positivity for at least 7 consecutive days. Now, on top of that, out of an abundance of caution, we will be moving to close schools as well. And by that, I mean starting Wednesday morning, public and non-public schools. Again, this is the strategy that worked for us in the spring and summer, which is limiting activity in a community to stop the spread. That's how this city came out of an extraordinarily difficult crisis in the spring, a much tougher situation than what we're dealing with now, and one that was in every corner of the city. We fought our way back with these restrictions and with social distancing, with mask wearing. We have to do it again in a pinpoint area, but it is crucial that we do it in a rigorous fashion to stop the spread within those communities and beyond. So again, pending approval from the state of New York, starting Wednesday morning, public and non-public schools would be closed in these areas.
Okay, all praises and glory to Yahweh, Blasio, Yahweh Shah, Blasio, Kakwadash. The Bible said I was Apostle Rick Millstone. My name is Lamadia. And a good chapter to read, or 2 chapters that's good to read within the times we're living in, is 2nd Esdras, the 15th and 16th chapter. And I'm going to read a little bit, 2nd Esdras 16 and 19. And it reads, Behold, famine and plagues, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness. And That's what we should expect to come with this second shutdown that's going to take place. And right now it's going to start at New York, because New York is right now considered to be a hot spot, but that's going to be a trend throughout different states. And it says, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, because the Most High is sending so many signs to let people know that we living in the latter times, and everything that once was considered to be science fiction in the mind of the world, the Most High is showing them that it's true, such as what people label as UFOs, what we know as the chariots, Sasquatch, Leviathan. A lot of these things that people once thought was just only science fiction, the Most High is showing that these things exist. Like, you had one major chariot sighting in New Jersey that stopped traffic, and people was pulling out their phones. They captured it on their phone, and that's the Most High showing His presence. And with a sight like that, you would think people would think to themselves to repent and get right, but they don't. And in mind, they're just thinking like nothing's gonna happen within a lifetime. So it says they should not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges, because these things is happening, but they're not thinking it. They're not thinking it of who it's coming from. These plagues are from the Most High for the breaking of the law, for all their wickedness. But we live in a time that people are not spiritual, and it seems like as each generation comes, the less spiritual they become. Now, verse 21, behold, rituals shall be so good cheap upon the earth. Now, the rituals are the things that people consider to be essential and they need to get by. And it said it should be so good cheap upon the earth. Now, with the first shutdown, a lot of businesses didn't even make it past the first shutdown, and the ones that did survive the first shutdown, they still struggling from the loss of the first shutdown. So now, coming with the second shutdown, the small businesses that were suffering, or businesses that were suffering, not only just small businesses that were suffering, a lot of business is gonna go under, and before they go under, they're gonna sell whatever they have to make whatever profit they can from whatever product they have on the shelves. So that's why it says, behold, rituals should be so good cheap upon the earth, upon earth. They should think themselves to be in good case. So, like Jake like to say, for the low, when they get something for a low price, they call it for the low. They're gonna get a lot of things for the low. So they're gonna think that they're in a good case, like it's a blessing, but it's actually a curse, because the Most High, He's bringing this place down. So they should think themselves to be in good case, and even then should evil grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion, because this is the beginning of things, and it's only going to get worse and worse and worse, because this devil is going to come down hard on Jake, because now they put in Jake as the face of terrorists, and they connecting it with Black Lives Matter And anarchy is being put, the idea of anarchy is being put on the face of, well, using the face of anarchy with Jake. So guess who they're gonna come after? You tribes. But the ones that's of the elect and that's in the truth, the Lord is going to protect and guide. And it says, verse 23, and the dead shall be cast out as dung. So it's going to be a lot of dead bodies. And there should be no man to comfort them. In other words, to bury. For the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. There should be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. Because you could expect, you know, with this second shutdown, you could expect a blackout. It's gonna get bad out here. The Lord said He's gonna outdo ancient Egypt. Verse 25, the trees should give fruit, and who should gather them? The grapes should ripen, and who should tread them? For all places should be desolate of men. And with this mandation of vaccines, there's gonna have to be a lot of people on the run. There'll be a lot of people on the run. So there's gonna be a lot of people hiding. So that one man should desire to see another and to hear a voice. For of a city there should be 10 left, and 2 of the field which should hide themselves in the thick groves and the clefts of the rocks. So I'm just gonna close with that. And again, I'm gonna say all praises and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Like I said, 2nd Esdras, the 15th, 16th chapter, is the time we're living in right now. And those are 2 chapters that, you know, brothers should read, because that's the time we're living in. So shalom.